So the Celtics are over the halfway mark of the regular season, and Brad Stevens is starting to round out his rotation moving forward. We're here to break down which players need to stay, which players need to step up, and which players need to stay on the bench for Brad Stevens in this segment, which is powered by 1-in-100. Head over to 1in100.co, where you can enter to win tickets to go see the Bruins Celtics, including the big game against the NBA champion Golden State Warriors here at TD Garden. That is 1in100.co.
Next
Sign up
Saturday.
today and get yourself some cheap tickets. Jimmy, Clevis. We've seen Brad Stevens starting to go down to his 9.
He's got 9 strong.
8-man
9
rotation.
strong.
We saw that a little bit against the Raptors. People getting steady minutes here. Which players do you think need to step up in terms of filling out that role? Who's going to round out that rotation? Clevis, who's the player that you think could be the designated 6th man, if you will, 6th, 7th man off the bench? Which guys do you have in mind?
I think
some depth.
Yeah, I think by default the designated 6th man is Gordon Hayward. But a guy I think
he's not going back to the starting lineup. Interesting.
For now. Maybe after the All-Star break. You trying to start some? Yeah. I think. Okay, let me get something. Sooner rather than later, they'll go back to the original 5. I think that's gonna happen eventually.
I don't even know if that's true.
Really?
Go on.
I think so, but I think the guy that needs to step up though is Terry Rozier, right?
Okay.
We've said it all year. You're in a contract
Rozier.
year. He's struggling badly. He hasn't really performed like he did in the playoffs. Even when he starts, he underperforms. Something's not right for him, but it's like he to me he's kind of like Reggie Jackson when he was with Oklahoma and now with the Pistons, right? He wanted to be a starter. He got the opportunity. He showed out.
It's a good comparison.
When Westbrook sat out half the year, more than that.
But then he started struggling. So that's why I see him as. But in order for the team to succeed, I think he needs to get going. Because you're an offensive threat off the bench, right? You're lights out. You're an athletic guard, which is kind of common, kind of rare though. So I think he needs to step up for this team because he's another threat. But now he's not a threat. Teams are kind of disrespecting him. I think Rozier needs to improve his shot collection as well because he's kind of weird with that.
Yeah.
Even during the game tonight where end of the quarter's going down, he could have shot from half
against
court.
The Grizzlies.
Against the Grizzlies. He could have shot from half court, and he just gives it to Marcus Smart because it seemed like he's worried about his shot percentage, right? So just a little observation I've seen.
It's a young guy thing.
Yeah, it's a young guy
thing right
It's something Clevis would do.
Contract year thing right there.
Something Clevis would
Every
do.
dollar counts.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great answer. I think a lot of people would. I think everybody would agree with you that Rozier's not having, a good follow up to the breakout year that he had last year. And I think he's in his own head a little bit. I think the shots just aren't falling. He's getting good. He's missing good looks.
Yeah.
I don't see him forcing a ton of shots. I mean, sure, the occasional one, but those shots just aren't falling. I think he's pressing a little bit. He's in his own head a bit, and he's a young kid. He knows that this is a big year for him, and he's probably really frustrated. My answer will be another obvious one, Gordon Hayward. We just talked about how he went from the starting lineup to the bench role. I think that's another player that is just trying to find his role in a spot where he's not used to being, which is off the bench. So now you look at the stats and you say, he only had 6 points and he only had 4 points. And Brad Stevens said after the game against the Grizzlies that you can't, when you're looking at bench press, you can't go by points. You have to look at maybe he's facilitating, maybe he's making passes, maybe he's rebounding, whatever he's doing, maybe he's got a defensive assignment. Whatever it is, he has to do that well. So I don't ever expect Gordon Hayward to consistently drop 25 points a game this year. I don't think that many people do. Maybe, hopefully next year. I think this is a long comeback for him. So he's got to get that slowly going. But do they need him to be useful off the bench? Absolutely. They need him to be extremely useful because they need that depth going forward.
Yeah, I'm going to 100% agree with you, Jimmy. I'm going with Gordon Hayward. I think when he performs well, and like you say, it doesn't matter if he scores 24 points or 25 points or 30 like he did against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I think it's when he performs well in terms of getting his players involved, finding guys, being that secondary playmaker. The Celtics typically win those games. Whether he scores 12 points or 13 points. I mean, heading into the season, I always felt like his ceiling was, 13, 14-point average. I just thought it was going to take some time. And it's true. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take maybe another season or this entire season for him to finally feel like
similar to Paul George.
Right, similar to Paul George in a sense, even though I do think they're different players. I just think the adjustment of being on a team like the Celtics, a championship caliber team, and then having to come off the bench has been quite an adjustment for him. But when he does perform well, when he is at his best, the team succeeds, and you see the guys around him succeed as well.
Co-sign completely, obviously. I mean, I think another guy that we could throw in there is Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Everybody would agree that he's also another player that needs to find his role with the team, consistency, and I think that he's obviously, we know that he might not be super happy with the things that are being said, whether it's Kyrie, whoever it may be, whether it's in the media. He may not be happy with the minutes he's getting, but these guys have to figure it the heck out Sorry for my language there, but
Yeah,
they
come on.
do.
Well,
I
And
got scared.
also-
They can say the other word.
They do
I was nervous.
because we said it. We're over halfway through the season now,
Yeah.
and this is the team. You know, Baines is back. This is the team. Tice is going to have a more reduced role now that Baines is back. These are the guys that they're going to go to war with
Yeah.
the rest of the way, and they need all hands on deck.
Yeah, and also, too, Jaylen just has to get going, too, because like Rozier, he has money on the line.
Right.
Because he's eligible for that extension this summer, so.
You know, Wanamaker's waiting. Wanamaker's waiting. So, listen,
So-
all joking aside,
Wanna make him wait?
Wanamaker will do exactly what Brad wants him to do out there. So if these guys go off the deep end at some point, quick hook,
Yeah.
Wanamaker, take it.
One last point. Jaylen Brown, I think defensively is very important for this team.
Yeah.
He can be that lockdown corner, that guy that can really get stops down the stretch against the key players. Maybe we'll see how he does against someone like Kevin Durant next Saturday here at TD Garden. A very good test for him. We've seen him against guys like LeBron James. We've seen what he can do in terms of containing those type of offensive players. I think that's where you're going to get his true value if he's able to do that off the bench. But let us know what you think in the comment
Wait, real
section.
quick, put you guys on the spot. Out
What's
of those
up?
three players that we named, Rozier, Brown, Hayward, most likely to not be on the team after the trade deadline.
Both of those guys, Rozier and Jaylen Brown.
I think they'll all
Hayward
be
is locked
here.
in for contract
They'll all
reasons.
be here?
They'll all be here.
They'll all be here?
Yes.
Oh.
What you want to
Rozier could be the likeliest, but I think they'll all be
Okay.
here.
All right, we'll take this wager.
I'll say
take it.
Rozier. I'll
Yeah.
say Rozier.
All right. Well, let us know what you think in the comment section. Which player do you think needs to step up for the Celtics bench? Which player do you think moving forward will take on a big role from now until the end of the season?